Hello my loves, I am on day 8 of just being sick, exhausted, in a funk, but if there's anything that I've told myself, it is that I will show up no matter what. So here we are. I did take a COVID test. It's not COVID. I don't know what it is, but I've just been not really feeling it, but we're not really talking about my health in this video. We're actually talking about my sales on Mercari in the month of November specifically. Now, I did have a pretty good month on Poshmark and an even better month on eBay. Mercari was better than it usually is, but it's usually like my lowest performing platform. I made just over $400 on Mercari in the month of November. So I have my phone here. I'm just kind of looking down on my sales, just casually talking through things as I'm looking through. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Sarah, as you can see from my channel name, and part-time I resell clothes on the platforms that I just talked about. I also do sell a little bit on ThredUp. I sell very minimal on Citizen as well, but I do have some listings over there. Also full-time, I am an educator as well. So here we are on Mercari in the month of November. The very first thing to sell on November 1st was an Express photographer suit jacket. This came from a friend of mine, a friend that just, was clearing out their closet and they wanted to go ahead and support me. So instead of passing it on to somebody else or donating, they went ahead and passed the clothes on to me, just said take all the profit. So of course I went at it and I was very appreciative of it. This suit jacket sold for $25. So in all, I got $21.47 of profit because there was the platform fees that came out of it, because that was donated from a friend. That was all complete profit to me. This next piece also came from free inventory, but it came from somebody else that I've been sourcing with. By the way, I just went back to the same person and sourced I don't even know how many things from this particular person. It's gotta have been like 500 pieces that I have just chilling on my couch waiting for me to go on Christmas break so I can list it. So I will definitely be showing you along with that process. I think I'm probably gonna split up hauls into different videos because it's so many pieces, but watch for that to be coming out. But anyway, this Levi's women's 720 Python print jeans sold for $15. The buyer, let's see, did the buyer pay for shipping on this one? Yes, the buyer paid for shipping on it, so that means I got $12.76 of profit because that also was completely free to me. This next item came from a friend, but it is on a 50-50% commission. This was a polo by Ralph Lauren striped button-down shirt. This sold for $11. The buyer did not pay, no, the buyer did pay for shipping on it, so that was $9.28 in profit, but then of course having to split that with my friend as well. It's pretty old, and I was actually kind of surprised that I held on to it for so long. This was a Zara women's premium collection off-the-shoulders dress. It was more of like a fall color, like a I don't know, like a burnt orange color. This sold for just $9. Again, I've had it for so long. It also was free after platform fees. That gave me $7.34. Again, because it was free. I will definitely take that low money. By the way, $9 is the lowest amount that Mercari will let you sell for. Of course, then you can give, free shipping on top of that. But if I did that, I wouldn't make any money at all. So that, $7, I will definitely take it. This next item actually came from a flip lot. This was a 7 for All Mankind men's Austin style jeans. These sold for $31. After platform fees, that was $26.50. And then I, of course, had to pay out the flip client. Now, I set my commission on flip to be 60%, but the platform fees come out of my profits. So it ends up being, roughly 50% that I have to pay out the client. Item came from the same person that I've been sourcing for inventory from, but it was from her husband, and this was a Calvin Klein blue and white striped button-down shirt. This sold for just $7. I think it was able to sell for the $7 because that's the amount that I cross-listed from eBay. But if you just list straight to Mercari, the lowest it'll let you go is the $9. But I noticed if you cross-list over and what you cross-list from, the price that you cross-list from is less than the $9, it will go ahead and let you list for that amount. But because this was free, I was okay with letting it go for the $7. Profits to me were $5.60. Honestly, when she told me that she was going to be giving me this stuff from her husband, I was like, I might just end up donating this stuff myself, because men's button-down shirts don't go for very much at all. Like, if you're picking up men's button-down shirts, even if they're a good brand, I wouldn't pick them up, just because there are so many of them out on the platform and people are willing to let them go for the $7 like I did. I don't know. I was just like, you know what, the $5, I'll still take it. It was free. But if I was paying for inventory, if I was sourcing on my own, I would not pick it up and go ahead and list it. So definitely keep that in mind as you are picking up different pieces. If you're somebody that sources on your own, I honestly haven't sourced on my own in like 2 years, because I've been getting items just given to me through friends, through acquaintances. But then also I do the ThredUp rescue boxes, which, by the way, I still have 2 boxes just sitting in my my garage to be unboxed. But because I got so many pieces from now this person, I'm going to go through that stuff first, because it's all like freshly pressed, either brand new or dry cleaned, and I don't want it to like sit and get wrinkled. And I know the stuff in the ThredUp box is all wrinkled anyways, so I want to get that out of the way so that I can get to those ThredUp rescue boxes that have been sitting in my garage for months. I mean, it's been since August is when I got those boxes. I unboxed 2, but I still have 2 more to go. So this next piece I actually sold for $7 as well. This came from a ThredUp rescue box, so I did have a cost of goods of roughly $2 on this one. This was an Anthropologie Drew linen jumpsuit. It was like a crop jumpsuit. Again, it sold for the $7, and that gave me $5.60 of profit, because I did have roughly the $2 cost of goods on it. I wouldn't say that that was worth it, but the name of the game is just to get rid of inventory so that I can go ahead and reinvest and reinvest and reinvest. So this next piece was Loft. So if you know anything about me, anytime you see Loft, you can pretty much guarantee that it did come from that person, from free inventory that I literally don't know what I did in life to be connected with this person, but I am so beyond grateful to have this opportunity just like pretty much fall straight into my lap. I am definitely taking it and running with it. Basically, my whole business strategy is kind of based off of connecting with different people at this point. But anyway, this blue and white striped sweater sold for $11. I did have free shipping on this one, so that only gave me $4.28 of profit, but because it was free, I was taking it. This was a Tampa Bay Rays baseball hat. This sold for just the $7. That tells me it was cross-listed over from eBay at just that price. I probably had it on an auction, and that's what it transferred over to when I cross-listed. So it didn't have any free shipping to it after the platform fees. That gave me $5.60. This next piece actually came from a flip lot that I did end up buying out. My cost of goods then was $4. I typically buy out my flip lots at $4. Sometimes if they are like not the best clothes, which I've gotten before, I go a little bit less than $4. Sometimes if it's higher priced items, I go a little bit higher, but this one I know for sure was a $4 cost of goods. This was a Miss June Paris like flowy maxi skirt. This ended up selling for $51. I did not pay for shipping, so the buyer paid for shipping on this one. That gave me $43.92. So that's roughly $40 that I made off of this piece alone. This next item came from a ThredUp rescue box. I did only have half of the piece though. It was like a tank top. It was missing the strap. It was Danielle Bernstein. This did sell for $13, this black tank top, and that gave me $10.82 of profit. Now, if I had the little strap that came with it, it probably would have gone for a little bit higher, but I didn't, and I was into making the quick money, just trying to move inventory in the month of November, so I was willing to go ahead and let that go. This next piece was also something that I was just wanting to let go. It also came from a ThredUp rescue box. This was a Sag Harbor skirt. It was like a petite midi skirt that sold for just $5, so that means it was cross-listed over at that price point. That gave me $3.85 of profit, and then of course taking out the approximate $2 cost of goods. Again, if you're sourcing this stuff on your own, I wouldn't let it go for that cheap, but it's stuff that's just coming straight to me, and I am okay with letting it go. This next piece came free from my friend. This was an Adidas black and white striped lounge pants or athletic drawstring pants. These sold for just $5. The buyer did, of course, pay for shipping for them though. So now we're on November 21st. On this date, I sold something from a ThredUp rescue box. This was a pair of Lululemon leggings. They had the size dot on them. They were size 6 black leggings. These ended up selling for $35 with not free shipping, so the buyer did pay for shipping. That gave me $29.98 of profit. Because they came from my recent ThredUp rescue box that I got on a 30% discount, they were closer to the $1 mark than the $2 mark. This JCrew poncho actually also came from that same ThredUp rescue box. This sold for $10. The buyer did, of course, pay shipping on it as well. That gave, let's see, $8.21 after platform fees, and then taking out the roughly $1 cost of goods from that as well. Now, I talked about this in my eBay video when I went over my sales in November on eBay. The things that are selling here recently are the things that I have listed recently. So it definitely pays to list. If you're trying to make any sort of money, the only way to make money is to list. So if you have a huge death pile like I did before and you just had things sitting and sitting and sitting, here's your sign to go ahead and list them. Like I said, I just got a whole bunch of inventory that I am planning on using all of my winter break to go ahead and list so that I don't have all this unlisted inventory and I'm not making money. This next piece also came from the same ThredUp rescue box that was just sitting. This was a MODCLOTH dress that's actually sold once on eBay, but the buyer did not pay for it, which I'm glad because it ended up selling for a little bit higher here on Mercari. It sold for $24 on Mercari. The buyer, of course, paid for shipping on it, so that gave me $20.40 of profit versus on eBay, I think it only sold for like $10. So definitely made a little bit more money on Mercari. It kind of depends on the different platforms. I can't say for sure between Mercari and eBay what items go for a little bit more. I will say on Poshmark items go for a little bit higher, but it's also a different audience. I sell most of like my sale inventory on Mercari and eBay. So pick and choose. I definitely say cross list. I know there's different, trains of thought. Some people say don't cross list, just worry about listing good inventory. I am on the mindset of going ahead and cross-listing. I do use a, little secret tip. I use Prime Lister as my cross-listing service. It also go ahead and relist different items specifically to Mercari. So that's the way that I use it. I really, really like the fact that it does that because some of my old inventory sells in that way. If you are interested in grabbing a Prime Lister, just a free trial, there is a link in my description. But I'm gonna go ahead and get back to my sales. This Knox Rose blouse also came from a ThredUp Rescue box. This one ended up selling for $16, and after platform fees, that gave me $13.44. Of course, taking out the roughly $1 cost of goods on that one as well. This next piece also came from a ThredUp Rescue box, but it was an old ThredUp Rescue box. This was something that was relisted through Prime Listers, so again, I'm so appreciative of it. This ended up selling for just $6. The buyer, of course, paid for shipping, so that gave me only $4.73. Because my cost of goods was roughly $2, a little bit less than $2, I still made money on it, and it was something that was out of my house, so I'm okay with taking that. This next piece also came from a ThredUp Rescue box, and this was as a result of relisting inventory as well. This JCrew oversized sweater ended up selling for $15. That gave me $12.56 after the platform fees. Now this next bundle, I was going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with this particular person, and like what was the first instance? The first instance, they bundled initially, and then one of the pieces that they bundled, I actually sold on another platform, so I had to say, like, is there anything else that you would be interested in? I'm so sorry about this. We ended up canceling the bundle, and then they kind of went haywire, like wanting to add a whole bunch of stuff into it that I wasn't in agreement with. Like, it was something, I think it was like something that was $6, and I said, okay, you can pick anything that's $10 or less, but then they kept going on these different listings, talking about like, how about this, how about this, how about this, and then I had to clarify, like, okay, this bundle, it's only for the few items, otherwise we can start a completely new bundle, and that's what we ended up doing. It was a whole situation that was just like, I feel like they were trying to go back and forth and purposely trying to confuse the situation and just get more out of it. I don't know, maybe that was just my take on it, because it was just very confusing, that the way that they went about it. I did, like, when I go ahead and add items to bundles, I would take pictures of items and then have the buyer clarify, like, is what I took a picture of and added to the original listing, is that what you were wanting? And then they would say yes, and I would kind of go from there. But I made an offer on this bundle, and then the person wanted to add a little bit more, so I added more to the bundle, not thinking that I had to cancel the original offer, and they accepted the offer while the new pictures and new items were added, so I had to clarify again that we were only talking about the specific pieces that we originally agreed on. It was a lot of back and forth. Like, even explaining it to you, I know it didn't come out right, just because it was that confusing. Like, and it wasn't even that high price of a bundle. This bundle sold for $33 and it gave me $28 of profit. I was ready to just block the person and just move on, just because it was a whole different whole drama. But I ended up going through with the sale, and we were okay. They ended up accepting the sale. Everything was good. It was just a lot in the moment for $28, to be honest. That actually ended up being the very last thing that sold in November on Mercari specifically. So if you haven't watched my videos going over my Poshmark sales or going over my eBay sales, I highly suggest those videos next. I will leave them in the description so you can easily find them. Go ahead and click on them. As always, if you are not yet subscribed, I super appreciate if you take this time to subscribe to my channel. If you watch on your TV, I know I watch on my TV all the time and you don't always like interact when you're on your TV. I would love if you grabbed your phone or grabbed your computer and hit that subscribe button. I am so close to 500 and I would love to be able to hit that kind of goal of mine by the end of the year. So if you are on that tipping point, please just go ahead and do that for me. While you're at it, of course, go ahead and like the video if you've been entertained or this video has helped you in any way. Of course, that allows my videos to continue to show up on your homepage, and then it allows my videos to show up on the homepage of others because it tells YouTube that you truly do appreciate my content and we can continue to learn and grow together.